Are we live?
Yes, we are live now.
Okay, sweet. So, so working on the application part, just basically we're reading in a file and using a map to kind of count the number of words that the user provides. And so what I did here, basically, well, I'll go down to the bottom here. First thing I did was declared a map. The first line in this in the file here, it had the void read-in file, and it was being passed an image, well, a map of type. I guess the string was the key and the value was a count.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went ahead and used an integer as the value, the value, just because it kind of seemed to work a little better for me, and I'll kind of go through it though. But this is the word count function that is called to kind of do a lot of the work. So the first thing here I'm doing is I'm declaring my map with this string key and integer value. And then I'm getting the file name from the user to be read. And I just made a little function for that, get file name, pretty standard. Got the, what is the name of the file to be counted, printing that, and then taking in the file name. This code wasn't provided in the actual file, right? We had to go through and do the file name and the read file. We had to do all the printing, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I thought so. I didn't see it in there. I just hoping I didn't do too much work, but not that it was bad. But
I like it. It's actually really very well modularized. So
yeah. It's went back to procedural programming. I kind of like this stuff. It's not as intense, but so once we got the file name, I store that in file name. Then we go to read file. I go to my read file, and that's kind of doing a lot of the work in this function. So in my read file, we're just doing a regular if stream fn, and we're taking in the file name. And then what I'm doing is, as I'm reading in the file, every word I'm kind of putting in the map. And it took me a while to figure out how to do this, but after some tinkering, I got it to work pretty well. So what I do is, once the word is in the fn stream, I check to see if we can find that word in our map. I use the find function of the map class. We try to find the word, and we're basically going till the end of the map, checking to see if we have that word in there. And that's kind of what this is doing right here.
Yeah.
Going till the end, checking to see where it was at. If we do find the word, we're going to go ahead and increment the value of the data in the map for that key. So basically we're incrementing by 1. So we're getting +1 count every time we find that word. If the word is not in there, we just go ahead and insert the word key in there with a value of 1 because we found it once. And then that's pretty much all that's doing. And that way, as I'm reading it in, I'm counting all the words that are coming into that file or coming in from that file. And then once we read that, then we prompt the user for whatever word he wants to find. And right here, I'm comparing, well, I guess I'm just setting word to find to get word. That's just a variable I declared. And then what I'm doing here is I'm displaying just basically displaying the word as we were told to do so. And basically just displaying the data, the counts the data at that key value using the square bracket operators. That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple, but pretty good at kind of teaching me the map class. The tricky part was just right here, figuring out how I wanted to find the word and increment the value. But eventually I found that by doing that we could get it to work. And does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Looks great. So.
Yep.
All right. And so yeah, that's how far I got on the application part. I haven't done a whole lot on the implementation yet. So probably want to turn it over to one of you guys for that.
Sure.
But there's that.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. So, do you have anything, Mark, or do you want me to share mine, or?
I'm having trouble pulling it up on mine, so why don't you pull up yours?
Okay, sure. All right, I'm going to break down and use MOBA Xterm for the display here.
Do it.
Let's see.
I'm a firm believer in MOBA Xterm.
Yeah. Let me see here. Okay. Share my screen. Okay, share screen.
Oh yeah, excuse me.
In MobaX, is there a way to change the background to kind of a darker color when you're editing the?
I don't think so. I think I've only ever seen people doing it with
widescreen.
With that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just wondered.
I mean, what you could do, and what you could do is you could just use MOBA Xterm as your the place where you get your files from, and then download your files to a folder, and then open them in your Visual Studio.
That's what I do, but yeah, I can't really change color there then.
Yeah. I don't think there is anyway, but I haven't like really messed around with it a ton.
I looked at it just for a couple minutes once, but I kind of gave up and haven't been.
Well, it's funny though. It's funny though because like literally every other coding program that I've worked with like has has like, you know, the black and then the white as their two main default.
Right.
The main default things, but like MOBA is apparently the only one that doesn't have the black one.
Yeah, I guess so. It's all right. I guess it all works.
Yeah.
But
is there a way to enlarge the text on MOBA?
That I'm not sure of either. Might try looking at view. No, never mind.
Oh well, if you can see it, that's fine. So.
Oh yeah, I see it.
I can see it. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so this is the map class, and as we go through this, you'll notice that most of it is really just calling what we've already done in the BST, and that's where most of the work is done. And so what we're doing first is we're including a BST, our BST file, and using and one variable is just then here we have our constructors. There, and this thing we're doing our class with the mentioned for the and you have one here, and here DC area is the variable purchase, and this will represent the here to so here we are just calling the direct BC. So we can do is call for the main return, and all I do is copy the BC here. And the only thing that's true is that I want to type or not, so there. Somehow I've noticed like when you have a nested class, typing, and also by your section. So that should be really.
Right.
Also, ensure you are holding your and add a dereference error because that's what you're going to get when you dereference it.
Oh, right.
The hand ID to LBC. I'm with KD. You need to be and so we're going to 0. Right, kind of get your you can put NC and have that there. Large string for the alignment. Each of the time there. Okay. It is you and if you're ready to distance and you do that even map. So what I do is okay. So you do if you understand it's equal to you. But if you vector then you just set this here is the same space and user so you use the as for me. So you have your data value your data and you use your dimensions data vary then your user and if I reference then they're able to you have to work in real cases and now and searching for how something works the returns and this is equal to the and then you want to match in a module different data you yeah that's it. Not even people that we have. Like something.
I think that should do it for this week.
Cool.
And that was really pretty fast, yeah. But
yep,
good.
I dig it.
All right,
awesome.
Hey, when's you guys' graduation date?
I think mine's sometime 2020, early 2020, or late. I can't remember. Sometime in 2020.
Mine's 2021 because I'm like just taking 2 courses per semester, so
right.
So I'm kind of a little bit slower, but
have you guys started looking at internships at all?
I have not.
No, I have not got to that point yet. So
that's something I'm kind of dreading just a little bit. Not sure why.
Like my work actually like has some software engineers that they have, and so I'm like